Today's all about hate. Hate. Today on In the Woodyard, 11 reasons why I hate electric chainsaws. Here we go. So today, every chainsaw manufacturer and some that are not chainsaw manufacturers that are now producing chainsaws are pushing electric chainsaws. Everybody thinks it's the hot new ticket. It's the must-have. It's the go-to. Well, I've got some reasons why they're not so good. We're going to talk about them right now. So behind me here, I have two chainsaws. One is an electric one. This one, it's Olimo. And this one over here is a Husqvarna 540. The Olimo was given to me by the company to do a video on it. And I did a video on it, and it's an okay chainsaw. The 540 was also donated to me just to make videos of by Husqvarna. So I am going to talk about the electric chainsaws and why I don't like them today. There's a lot of reasons. There's some reasons that I do like them. We're going to talk about those on a different video. But today is all about hate. Hate. Kind of like the Grinch. So I have run several electric chainsaws now. I would say, I think 5, maybe 6 different brands that I have run. I have had some given to me by companies that want me to do videos, and I've done them, and I've used them, and they're okay, and they work. But there's things about them I do not like, and I came up with 11 reasons why I hate electric chainsaws. Here's number 1. The number 1 reason is refueling. If you run out of battery, you're done working for a while, unless you buy extra batteries. But if your battery dies, you're done. You got to charge it, and you got to stop work and wait for the battery to charge. I don't like that. I want to refuel and go. So unless you got extra batteries, you're done working. Number 2 is there's no big ones yet. They're all small. I have not seen a big electric chainsaw yet. They're all similar in size to this 540, and that's the reason I have this 540 Husqvarna out here. This particular chainsaw is a 39cc, is gas. It weighs the same as this Olimo here, which is a 21 volt on each battery, so it's a 42 volt. They weigh almost exactly the same. They both cut fine. They're small saws. They're great for limbing or for, yard work, that kind of stuff, if you're just doing small jobs. But there's no big ones yet. If you really want to cut some big timber, if you want to cut big logs, stuff that's 20, 30, 40 inches, there's no big ones yet. They may develop them, but right now there are none. I haven't seen any. I could be wrong. If you guys know of some, let me know. They're all smaller saws. And for a homeowner, that's fine. But for someone who's serious about cutting wood, no. You want some power. There's no 50cc that I know of equivalent. There's no 60. There's no 70. There's no 80. There's no 90. There's no 100. Certainly not 120cc like the big boys, like the big Stihl 881. And the Husqvarna 3120, there's nothing even close to that. And there's people that need and want those kind of saws, those big saws for cutting big wood for big jobs. Number 3, all the batteries are proprietary, which means you can't use these batteries in anything else unless it's Olimo. If you get a Milwaukee, you can only use the Milwaukee batteries. If you get a DeWalt, you can only use the DeWalts. If you get any other kind, you got to use those kind of batteries. And I understand why they do that, because they want you to buy their line of equipment, whether it's a chainsaw or trimmer, a blower, whatever it is. But you're stuck with that kind, and you can't swap the batteries back and forth. So you basically have to have a warehouse of batteries of different varieties if you want different brands. If they could come up with a system where it's not proprietary, where everything was using the same battery packs, whatever company comes up with that, something that's maybe an adapter or something that works for everything, that would be great. That's one of the frustrating things, is you can only use them on that manufacturer's equipment. Don't like that. Also, some models require certain batteries. So even in the same line, you might not be able to get batteries that work in different things because they take different voltage or different size batteries. Or they might not be big enough to power the equipment that you have. So there's that. Gas is gas. It works on everything, just saying. Another one is when they come out with a new model, this is obsolete. What are you gonna do then? You gotta update everything. Gas saws, they just keep running. Number 4, battery life. When it's cold, these don't last very long. And we have cold weather here. We have 20 and 30 below. And I don't keep my equipment in a heated shop, which maybe some guys do. Even if you do, when you go to a job, it's in the vehicle, back of the truck. You probably don't have a heated truck in back. You're probably not gonna keep it in the cab where you can keep it warm. The batteries do not last nearly as long when they get cold. So that's an issue, especially if you're going to do a big job. When you run out of that battery, you go to swap out the new battery if you've got an extra one. It's going to be cold and it won't last as long. Number 5, For the cost of a good electric chainsaw, you can get a really good gas chainsaw. You're not saving money. Plus, like I mentioned several times already, batteries. They're expensive. Sometimes as much or more than the chainsaw. And you gotta have bunches of them if you wanna cut a lot. Number 6, some companies say, oh, their batteries are good for 1 billion charges. No. I have some stuff that's rechargeable. I use rechargeable batteries a lot in a lot of my camera equipment. They have a life. And when that charge life is done, they may still work, but your life of the battery and that particular charge goes down and down and down and down. And I have on my camera, the one you guys are watching me through right now, it's a camera that uses batteries. I have older batteries that are maybe 2 or 3 years old. I will get maybe 15 minutes out of them and they shut off because it senses that the battery's getting low, even though it says that it's 50% or 40%, whatever it is on there. Because they are batteries that get used and charged over and over, they don't last nearly as long. And I know it's the same with most power equipment. The life of the battery, if you use it a lot and you recharge it a lot, is limited. So when that battery dies, you need to get another battery. And like I said before, they aren't cheap. Number 7, this is a personal thing. I lust after them. They're chainsaws. I want them. I want to try them all. They're cool. I want to compare them. So I want to get more of them. I want to buy them. I want to see other guys' equipment. I want to try it. So just like any other chainsaw, I want more. More is always the right answer when it comes to chainsaws, money, firewood, and several other things in life. More is good. Number 8, a lot of the chainsaws, the electric ones, are kind of disposable. They're not super high quality. They're generally manufactured and sold to consumers that are using it in their yard for doing yard work. I have not seen one yet that's super, super heavy duty. Steel and Husqvarna do have some. I haven't used them yet. I've heard about them. I've seen them. I've watched some videos. They seem pretty nice. The Milwaukee one's not bad either, and I know there's some other ones you guys are screaming at right now because you happen to have one. There are some pretty good ones, but most of them are disposable. They're made to be used a few times and forgot about, so I don't like that. I like the best equipment I can get because I don't buy something to use it once. I buy it to use it a lot. Number 9, this is a big one, probably for a lot of you. I fear change. I've been using gas my whole life. Batteries, ooh, how can that possibly be good? But I gotta admit, they do cut pretty good. They do have quite a bit of power. They have quite a bit of torque. That I do like. There are things I like about them, but I fear the change. Because with change, you know what it means? I gotta spend more money buying more equipment. So they are a tool that has a place, and we'll talk about that on a different video. Number 10, I kind of mentioned this already. When the battery dies, you gotta wait to charge it. You gotta charge it again. And you get to use it a little bit. You gotta charge it again. And unless you have a stockpile of batteries, you're not gonna get a lot of work done. You're gonna get a little bit of work done. And I'm the kind of guy that likes to get a lot of work done. So the battery life is an issue. That's an issue. Something that I'm gonna mention because I talked to a guy that bought a brand new, yes, Ford Lightning truck, the F-150 Lightning. He's extremely disappointed with it. He tried towing with it. You're supposed to have like, what, a 200 or 300 mile range? 80 miles and he was almost out of battery. And he was only towing a small trailer. He said, absolutely disgusting. It was in cold weather and he was towing something that was well within range of what the truck was capable of, but he was afraid to go any further because he thought the battery would die. And you can't just swap out and put a new battery on an electric truck. I mean, when you got to stop and charge it, it's going to take some time. And there's not charging stations everywhere, so that's a whole nother tangent there. They're cool for certain uses, but they're not for everything. And that's the thing I have as a problem with a lot of the battery stuff. Everybody thinks they're the answer to all the problems. They're not. They're just a tool, and they are limited. Number 11, everybody thinks that, oh, electric, it's cheap, it's free. Well, I don't know. I've been paying electric bills for a very long time now. And unless you are a child and you live with your mommy and daddy, electricity's not free. You're paying for electricity to charge it. Yes, it may be a little bit less, but you still got to pay for it. It's not free. You got to pay for it somehow. And a lot of electricity is made from fossil fuels like gas. Well, they don't use gas for making electricity, but they use natural gas. They use coal. They use that kind of stuff. And yes, some electricity is created with wind and sun, which we rarely have sun, and there's not that much wind everywhere. A small percentage of electricity can be created by the use of sun and wind. Small. I kind of like nuclear myself. I wish there was more of it. There you go. Okay, that's going to raise all kinds of objections and problems, and oh my gosh, the world is ending. Okay, we're going to bonus one 12. So the bonus one, number 12, I've already mentioned. You have to buy extra batteries. And if you have priced these things out, especially for the higher quality ones, the bigger batteries, the batteries are very expensive. And you're going to need several of them. And sometimes the batteries cost as much as the chainsaw or more. It's unbelievable that people think that it's just cheap and free. Electricity isn't the answer to all the questions. It is an answer though, and we're going to talk about that on tomorrow's video. Come on back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m., I will be here with another video. We're going to talk about all the things I like about electric chainsaws. Tomorrow morning. Between now and then, go to my channel, watch one of the videos. There's over 1,300 waiting for you right now. Good night, Irene.